Okay, well, I had uploaded the video about the crafting, but this vlog's gonna be more about how I'm feeling right now. Um, when you talk about grief, I mean, grief is it's so it's so strange because of the way grieving makes you feel, whether it's an animal or a human that you're grieving. It's like I've been feeling pretty good all evening. I mean, I haven't been on top of the world, but I've been occupied and tried to stay busy. And so it's really late now in the evening. It's like after 10 o'clock or something. And I've had these memories and just sadness flooding in, and, feeling sorry for my dog because of what she had to suffer, I mean, it could have been worse, but I think that I took care of the matter at the right time to end her suffering. But then all these heavy, sad thoughts just start flooding in, just about her, and that she's not here anymore, except in a box in ashes, which is some comfort and relief. But when those last few weeks that she started to go downhill, she was so much lighter weight. She'd lost so much weight, and when I'd pick her up, she was so frail. Like, she was like hardly weighed anything. I think she weighed probably half her body weight or something. I don't know. I never did get on the scale with her and try. Um, Back in August, when she started to act kind of strange or seem kind of sickish, she still weighed like 8 or 9 pounds, maybe 8 pounds. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure she probably only weighed 4 or 5 pounds when I had her put to sleep, because she couldn't have been close to her weight just a few months ago. I mean, even back in October, she looked pretty good. She looked pretty healthy. She was a little thinner, but I've really, if I look sad, it's because I am sad, because all these memories flood in, and then sometimes I'm okay, and sometimes I'll break down and start to cry. And it's like, it's really hard to take, it's hard to deal with. And it's just really, death is really, it's hard to wrap your finger around it, You're in your mind around, you know, death. And because I have a spiritual side, so I can kind of find ways to cope with all these things, but it's still very difficult thing to do. Like, okay, looking at her ashes and knowing that that was part of something that was once living and now is not living. I mean, yeah, I know that it might creep some people out. It sounds a little creepy. And it's not so much creepy for me. It's just sad, and it's just hard to understand that and like the expression they say sometimes, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and the man returns to dust when he dies and stuff like that. So, yeah, and tonight I'm just like feeling despondent. It's a word. And I just really haven't vlogged in a long time, but it helps me to get this out. So even if it sounds morbid, I mean, you shouldn't be watching if you don't want to watch something morbid, because it's just like what I'm talking about. People can get on YouTube and talk about famous people dying and they couldn't believe it, or whoever. And you know what? We talked about people or animals, whatever, who we really knew and were close to us. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to sound morbid to somebody who doesn't want to hear it. And so, yeah, I really feel sad right now. And like maybe tomorrow I'll feel better for a while. And I'll really be confident because I do have a confidence about the future and later on, and when I feel up to it, having another pet, another dog. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, I wish this hadn't happened. I wish it didn't have to happen. Then it had to happen. But I mean, this is part of life that dogs live and they die. All animals live and they die. They live out their life. Things go wrong. They get sick, or maybe they just die because they're real old. My dog was old. She was 14 and a half at least. And I had her for over 13 and a half years because my nephew had her first when he was 6 years old. They got the dog for him, and he lived in Austin. And he's 20 years old now, my nephew, the oldest one, and he's in college. So later on, when one of our dogs had puppies, our other dogs that we had a long time ago was passed, she had puppies, and so my nephew wanted one. And they said the only way was if they gave me Cinnamon. And I kind of wanted Cinnamon in the first place, but, it wasn't my business to say, I want that dog. Can I have your dog? Because he would visit and he would bring her when she was still kind of growing. She was still real young. And the first time we really clicked with each other, me and Cinnamon, she really loved me. She licked my face and everything. And then when he had to go back to Austin to go back home after his visit, I really was going to miss that dog, Cinnamon. I did not want to see her go. She had to go back. This was about, 2001? Yeah, and she was a few months old. I think she was like half grown, maybe. And I just really wished in my heart that she was my dog. I mean, I wanted a dog like her. We were just like Forrest Gump says, peas and carrots or something. So I think when we went back, no, before that, I don't know. I'll get into that later. I would like to tell more stories about Cinnamon and how we met and how we knew each other. But yeah, when we gave them one of the puppies from our other dogs, that's like German Shepherd mix. I eventually got Cinnamon in April the 21st of 2002. They gave me Cinnamon. I brought her home, and so she was already like about a year old. I guesstimated on that. So that was the beginning for us, me and Cinnamon, and it was a great. Well, I've known her since she was a puppy because they brought her up here. But the 13 years and 8 months or so that I had her, they were the greatest 13 years and 8-ish months that I had her. And I went on vacation some and trips, and she was okay here. And sometimes I would go house sit for some friends of mine that had their own dogs. And so Cinnamon was okay here for like a week at a time. And even like a week and a half at a time. And sometimes I would come midweek, travel back to the house for a little while because it wasn't that far. And I'd see her and visit with her a little bit. But yeah, anyway. There's a lot of different little things I can tell But really, really sad. But anyway, I guess that's enough blogging for now. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Helps me get things off my chest.